Well, hello there, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well tonight. I just realized I've been talking for the last couple of minutes. This is really embarrassing. I've been talking to myself for the last couple of minutes. I did not realize that I didn't click go live. That really makes a difference. You have to click the go live in the StreamYard app. So Ah, I tell you, but you learn something new every day. But hope everybody's doing well tonight. Welcome to this live stream reaction to the Criterion Collection titles for titles for June of 2022. I am super excited. So I'm going to jump right into it right here. We have six new titles coming in June of 2022, including one new Blu-ray upgrade of a Powell Pressburger film. So I love the Powell Pressburger films like Black Narcissus. The 4K of Red Shoes is awesome. Love everything that they've put out that I have seen. We're getting five new titles in the collection. So five new movies in the collection. I'm counting one movie that is a former Laserdisc in that count. We're getting three new directors in the collection. So three new filmmakers coming in the collection. That's always exciting. One new 4K Ultra HD. That is always something that I look for. That ever since they first announced a few months back, toward the end of last year, that they were going into the 4K format finally, I've always been looking forward to hearing what new 4K titles is Criterion going to put out. We're getting one, and I tell you what, I am really excited for this new 4K release. And we're getting titles from the US, the United Kingdom, Norway, and Hong Kong. So Criterion sent out a tweet shortly after noon today. And in that tweet, they said, a stunning future debut, an ultra charismatic Oscar contender, a swooningly romantic ghost story from a Hong Kong master, and the action hero epic that fueled the blaxploitation era, now on 4K Ultra HD. So this is a really exciting time to be a physical media collector, whether it's Criterion or what Arrow Video's doing. I got my first Arrow title. You might have seen the unboxing for American Werewolf in London. I watched that last night, or finished watching it last night. Absolutely love it. Love the packaging for that release, or what Kino Lorber's doing. I am just excited about the great things that's going on in physical media this year. And the Criterion Collection is really stepping up to the plate with each month that goes by. So I'm excited. We're getting one new title on June the 7th, one title on June the 14th, and then we're getting two titles on June the 21st and two titles on June 28th. So very excited. So who do we have here in the chat? We have internet user. Hello. Howdy. How's it going? We have Ethan. We thought you drank too much green beer and passed out. Yeah, it is St. Patty's Day. It is indeed St. Patrick's Day, and I am very, very excited about it. And just excited about the announcements. When I saw Criterion's tweet on Tuesday saying that their announcement would be delayed to the 17th, I was a little disappointed, but hey, it's great to see these titles that have been announced. Let me know in the comments what you think about these titles. We're about to jump on the Criterion site. I'm going to do a screen share, and we're going to see some of these titles, or see the titles that they've announced. So we have Tim out here. Hey, James, darn solid Criterion announcement. I agree, man. It's absolutely. I mean, this is a packed month for sure, Tim. I mean, I am super stoked about pretty much all the titles. So I plan to pick all of them up for the most part. Huck's Pop Culture Cafe. Hey, James, I love your passion for Criterion. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Miguel, your passion is really communicative. I'm now excited as well. Well, thank you, Miguel. I appreciate it. And the passion of this community excites me. So we sort of feed off of each other. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. Ethan, Tales of Hoffman is a favorite of George Romero, oddly enough. Interesting. Okay. I did not know that. Did not know that. All right, so without any further ado, why don't we just hop over to the Criterion site here and let us check out. I'm going to do a screen share here and make sure that I'm actually sharing my screen. I've had that issue before where I wasn't actually sharing my screen. So this time Okay, let me make sure this works. Share. Follow these steps. Okay. I'm having some technical difficulties. System preferences. I apologize, folks. I am running into a little bit of a technical issue sharing my screen. It's Murphy's Law. They picked a great time to click privacy. Okay. Screen recording. Check the browser. Okay. Wow. Well, they sure picked a great time to keep me from sharing my screen. But anyway, I will go to the Criterion site here and talk through these titles. So I apologize, folks. I was hoping to be able to share my screen here. But anyway, Criterion has announced 6 titles for the month of June, and I am super stoked. And there are a couple of titles that I am planning to pick up on day one when they come out, and then the other 4 I plan to pick up in the July Barnes and Noble sale. So because these titles are coming out so close to the July sale, I'm going to wait on 4 of these titles, but I'll tell you the 2 titles that I am most excited about that I do plan to pick up on day one, and those are titles that I plan to do a review on. On this channel. So be on the lookout for that. But the first title that's coming out in the month of June is a title from Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger called The Tales of Hoffman. Now, I had never heard of this title before, but I got to tell you, I'm really very intrigued by this title. And the reason that I'm intrigued is this has a connection to the Red Shoes, in that a lot of the stars from the Red Shoes, including Maura Shearer, the star of the Red Shoes, and I think 3 of those co-stars from that film are in this musical. So I'll read the description here on the site. It says, Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger create a phantasmagoric marriage of cinema and opera in this one-of-a-kind take on a classic story. In Jacques Offenbach's fantasy opera, The Tales of Hoffman, a poet dreams of 3 women, a mechanical performing doll, a bejeweled siren, and the consumptive daughter of a famous composer, all of whom break his heart in different ways. Powell and Pressburger's feverishly romantic adaptation is a feast of music, dance, and visual effects, and one of the most exhilarating opera films ever produced. So if you know anything about this film, I've never seen this film before. 5 of these 6 films are going to be blind buys for me. There's only one film that I've actually seen before of these announcements. And that's part of what I love about Criterion is it's just the blind buys continue to just blow my mind with new discoveries every single month. And a recent example of that is a title that I saw this past weekend called Adoption that came out, a title that I got as part of the flash sale. And I had originally not even planned to pick up that title, but I picked it up in the flash sale and watched it and was absolutely blown away by it. This is a title from a Hungarian female director named Marta Mészáros. I had never heard of her or Adoption or even heard of her work, but that is one heck of a release from Criterion. It's up there, for me, it's up there with Boat People, the An Hui release that I did a review on this channel. I highly recommend checking out Boat People and Adoption. They are 2 phenomenal works by 2 amazing female filmmakers. So definitely check those out. But The Tales of Hoffman looks very interesting. I had a chance to go on the Criterion site here and watch the trailer. And I highly recommend checking out the trailers of all of these new releases because they all look fascinating. And there's one in particular that really, really piqued my interest, and one that I plan to pick up on day one when it comes out. But this title, Tales of Hoffman, is a 4K digital restoration by the Film Foundation and the BFI National Archive. You got an audio commentary on here, which I love audio commentaries on these releases. You even have an interview with filmmaker George A. Romero from 2005. So that's interesting. The Sorcerer's Apprentice, a short musical film is in here. And this is the Blu-ray upgrade that I mentioned. So this is the title that's getting an upgrade from the DVD edition Spine 317. So that's the Tales of Hoffman that is coming out on June the 7th. So let's see what other comments we have in here. Let's see here. All right. Miguel, I just got the Celebration. Do I love that minimalistic packaging? Yes, I'm with you. I love that. And that's a great release. That's the first release that came out in this year, the Celebration. That's the Thomas Vinterberg film. That's the Dogma 95 movement. It is phenomenal. It has interesting packaging. It's very unique. And I tell you what, I just really love that release. And you learn a lot about the Dogma 95 movement, which is basically, minimalist filmmaking, stripped down version of filmmaking, really, eschewing the high production values and just getting down to basic, filmmaking. So I really dug it. Hi, James, can you do a review of Adoption? You will get your wish. That is planned to come out this Saturday. So that is definitely on the schedule for sure. And sneak preview, I absolutely love that title. It is pretty much up there with Boat People, as I mentioned. I was blown away by that discovery. I'll tell you what, Huck, I am hardly missed when it comes to Criterion blind buys. I've watched so many gems I never knew about blind buying during the sales. Yes. Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I pretty much trust Criterion when it comes to blind buys. If it's, it's an opportunity to discover, a new film, a new director that I had never heard of, and it just expands the horizons, which is part of why I love film. Thanks. Hoping to have some real gems in my hands. Yes. It's hard to go wrong with Criterion. Just dive in. You've never heard the filmmaker, you've never heard the film, don't worry about it. Just dive in and learn something new. Can't guarantee you will like everything, but usually I think you'll appreciate it. Ethan Edwards, I have Tales of Hoffman on Criterion DVD, but it's been years since I've watched it. I remember liking it, but musicals generally aren't my favorite genre. Okay, I can understand that. Let me know in the comments, how many of you have picked up the West Side Story, either the Steelbook or the 4K. I picked it up yesterday, and I'm very much looking forward to watching it. So what I recently watched is I finished American Werewolf in London, that Arrow release. I finished watching it yesterday. Absolutely loved it. My first time seeing the film. The Arrow limited edition release is absolutely phenomenal. I love the packaging. I just love every part of it. And it's my first Arrow video title, and I'm looking forward to more. I have that RoboCop limited edition pre-ordered. So let me know what Arrow titles you would recommend. So I watched that last night. Then I switched and started watching Le Cirque Rouge 4K from Criterion. Got through about half of it. Plan to get through the other half of it tonight after I come home. Behind me is a basketball facility. My son has a practice going on, getting ready for some games this weekend. So that's why you see me in this backdrop here. So you're at the gym, James? Yes, I am at a sporting complex. I'm at a sporting complex here. My son's got a basketball practice, so we're doing a little multitasking. So when he's done with that, I plan to get home and get him settled, get my my German Shepherd settled and everything, and put my German Shepherd down to bed, and then pop in or finish watching Le Cirque Rouge 4K, because I'm really interested in seeing where that title goes and seeing how that how that finishes up. It's really fascinating so far. So let me know in the comments if you've seen Le Cirque Rouge, and if so, what you think about it. But I am enjoying it so far. And then when I'm done with that, I need to switch to Miller's Crossing, because I plan to do a review of that on the channel. And then I need to go to West Side Story. So kind of jumping around to different titles, but that's part of the fun of physical media. You get to jump around the different stories. Traveling Man, I bought the new West Side Story. I'd give it 4 out of 5. Okay, sad it didn't do well at the box office. Okay, cool. I'll probably get West Side Story just because it's Spielberg and it got good reviews. I generally get all his films. Yeah, I heard it's got a lot of Oscar nominations, so that's awesome. Okay, Tim, a fun arrow recommendation is Dead End Drive-In. It's an Australian movie where teens and other hooligans go to a drive-in, which is basically a prison that they can't leave. It's really unique. Okay, cool. The other title that I plan to do a review on this channel is The Apartment. And the only thing that's holding me back from rendering a review of that title is the small inconvenience of the fact that I have not yet received it yet from Kino. So um, I don't know what's going on with. I love Kino's releases, but there seem to be delays in them getting their releases out on time. I experienced it with the Invasion of the Body Snatchers last year, with the recent release of Touch of Evil, and now with The Apartment. The latest that I've heard from Best Buy that I pre-ordered them from is that I should get it by this Saturday. So fingers crossed that I get The Apartment or by this weekend, because I definitely cannot wait to see that on 4K. I love that film. Let me know if any of you have any of you actually gotten The Apartment yet on 4K. Let me know, because I'm jealous. Hux, I didn't grab the physical media yet, but I do have a DVD screener copy from SAG. Watched it with my wife and daughter, and we really enjoyed it. Okay, cool, awesome. KB, what's up, James? Just hopping on. June looks interesting. It does look interesting. I'm about to hop back onto the Criterion site. I wish I could figure out my screen sharing issue, because I really would love to be able to share with you what I'm seeing on screen, but maybe you can also go to the Criterion site and follow along with me. I really enjoyed Le Cirque Rouge, same as the other Melville films I've seen. Yes, I've seen Army of Shadows. I did pick up that title last year from Criterion and loved it. It's fantastic, and I get the same feeling from Le Cirque Rouge. Timothy, no March Madness college basketball. Yeah, yeah. I'm not a huge college basketball fan. I am more of course, I'm sporting the Atlanta Braves championship gear here tonight. I'm sort of a mild baseball fan. I'm much more Georgia Bulldogs college football fan. So I'm more of the college football, SEC football fan. A little bit of NFL too. See, have you seen Streets of Fire? It's a great film, James. I have not seen that. I have not seen that Over Beyond. I'll have to check that out. That's one thing that I love about this community, is that my watch list is like doing this. It's growing. It's just constantly growing out of control. And so now I'm adding Streets of Fire to that list. So Tim, also Criterion wise, I can't remember if I asked you, but have you seen Night Train in Munich? I have not seen that one yet. That's one I have not picked up yet. I think that's the film by Carol Reed. I have not picked that one up yet. You said that you loved it. Okay, there isn't really all that many World War II films, movies from before the U.S. entered the war. Okay, awesome. I'll have to check that out. That is one that I have seen in Barnes and Noble for the last couple of cycles during the sale, but just have not quite pulled the trigger yet. I probably will go ahead and do it either in the July or November sale. I'm waiting on my copy of The Apartment also, really hoping it comes soon. Yeah, I'm with you, Tim. I'm with you. I would say that's probably for me either the third or fourth title I'm most excited for this year so far. So if I were to state like what's the title that I am most looking forward to in physical media this year, for me it would be Double Indemnity 4K from Criterion that's coming out in May. That is for me my number one top release I'm looking for of what's been announced so far, followed by the Singing in the Rain title that's coming out in 4K. So those are the titles that I am just like, give them to me now. I cannot wait. So, all right. So with that, let us go back to the Criterion site and let me try this screen share one more time. Let me try this again and see if this will work. Window, Chrome tab. Oh, maybe it'll let me do this. Share. Oh, okay. Wonderful. So it looks like I'm sharing now. Oh, I feel a lot better now. So we're now on the Criterion site. So we talked about the Tales of Hoffman, which I think is very interesting. That is one of the titles that I plan to get during the July sale. I can wait on that. I'm excited about it, but I can wait on that. This next title we're going to look at here is one that I definitely plan to get on day one. I just heard about it today, and based on what I've seen in this trailer and just reading this synopsis, this is one that I am absolutely excited about picking up on day one when it comes out on June the 14th. And it is called Farewell Amore. This is the feature debut from director Ekwa Masangi. And Ekwa Masangi, I wonder if it will allow me to share this picture of Ekwa. Probably not, but I just put up a picture of Ekwa right here, but it probably is not sharing it. But this is a title that I'm really intrigued by. And it says here, this is her luminous feature debut. Filmmaker Ekwa Masangi chronicles a broken family's journey to wholeness with empathy and insight. 17 years after his family was separated by the civil war in Angola, a New York taxi driver, Natari Guma, Mabu Mawin, is reunited with his now devoutly religious wife and teenage daughter when they are finally able to follow him to America. But after living thousands of miles apart for so long, the three find they must discover one another's strengths, forgive one another's weaknesses, and bridge cultural and generational divides in order to build a life together. So I watched this trailer, and I highly, highly recommend checking out this trailer because it will definitely pull you in to this film. And I am definitely all over picking this up as soon as it comes out on June the 14th. This is going to feature a new 2K master approved by the director with the 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio soundtrack on the Blu-ray. And we get new audio commentary featuring Masangi and cinematographer Bruce Francis Cole. We get 3 short films, which I always love getting these short films from the directors. I totally dig that. And then we get new interviews with some actors. So it's not a packed edition, but we do get a commentary on here. We get some of the short films from this filmmaker. And I think we're going to get a little insight into this new filmmaker. So this is a new filmmaker in the Criterion Collection, a new title in the collection. This is a film from 2020, and it's going to come in at spine number 1128 in the collection. So this is Farewell Amore, Ekwa Masangi. So I am super excited about this title, and this is one of the day one pickups for me. And what do you think of this cover, guys? Check this cover out. That cover is a knockout. In fact, I'm trying to think here. That might be my favorite cover of the month. Let me know what you guys think about the cover and what your favorite cover is for the month. And also let me know if there's any covers you hate this month. Okay? So let me know what you love and what you hate. So that's June the 14th. Now we got 2 titles coming out June the 21st. The first is from director Stanley Kwan, and I'll show you a picture. Actually, I can show, see. I should still be sharing. So this is the filmmaker that I was trying to show you before, Ekwa Masangi, right here for Farewell Amore. And then the next film is a film from, from director Stanley Kwan. Excuse me while I'm fumbling here. Stanley Kwan. And it is Rouge. I was going to try to show a picture, but I wasn't able to find it on IMDb. But this is Rouge. Now, this is a title that I'm also going to wait for the July Barnes & Noble sale, but this cover looks fascinating. It's actually a beautiful cover. But this is a 1987 film from Hong Kong from director Stanley Kwan. Comes in at 96 minutes. And this is a film that stars Cantopop superstars Anita Mui and Leslie Chung display the androgynous magnetism that made them icons as doomed lovers in this emblematic film of Hong Kong's second new wave, directed by pioneering queer melodrama master Stanley Kwan. Rouge bridges past and present in its tragic romance between a humble courtesan and the wayward scion of a wealthy family who embraced death by suicide pact amid the opulent tea houses of 1930s Hong Kong. So there's more there, but this looks like a pretty interesting title. It's a total blind buy for me. I know very little about this film, which, for a lot of these Criterion editions is, for me, I've hardly gone wrong going into these titles with that, and I've been amazed most of the time. This title features a new 4K digital restoration approved by the director, which is great, uncompressed monaural soundtrack. You get an alternate 5.1 surround track, DTS HD master audio on the Blu-ray. This is a new conversation between Kwan and filmmaker Sasha Chuk, and you get a documentary from 1997 and a few other features in the trailer. So this is an interesting title. Let me know in the comments if you have seen this particular film, and if so, what do you think about it? This is Rouge by director Stanley Kwan. So that is the first title coming out on June the 21st. Now, this next title here on June 21st is the title that is at the top of the list for me of excitement for this month. And this is the only 4K Ultra HD release of the month, and it is the 1971 film from director Gordon Parks, Shaft. This is from director Gordon Parks. As many of you know, Gordon Parks was the director. He recently entered into the Criterion Collection with the last edition of 2021, The Learning Tree, which I picked up during the flash sale. I have not seen that title yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Gordon Parks also directed this legendary film starring Richard Roundtree. This is the only film of the 6 announced for this month that I've actually seen. So I am very excited to revisit this film. I have not seen it in a long time, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'll read the title. I'll read the summary here. While the Black Power movement was reshaping America, trailblazing director Gordon Parks made this groundbreaking blockbuster, which helped launch the blaxploitation era and gave the screen a new kind of badder than bad action hero in John Shaft, Richard Roundtree, in a career-defining role, a streetwise New York City private eye who is as tough with criminals as he is tender with his lovers. So this, first of all, this cover looks really cool. I really dig it. I don't know if I totally love it, but I think I dig it. It's pretty nice. But this is a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray combo pack. I plan to get this day one, and I plan to do a review of Shaft 4K on this channel. So be on the lookout for that. It is coming out on June the 21st. So before the month of June is over, look for a review of Shaft on this channel as we lead up into the July Barnes & Noble sale, or what we hope to be a July Barnes & Noble sale. So this is from 1971. It runs at 100 minutes, coming in at spine number 1130 in the Criterion Collection. And what are we getting on this bad boy? We're getting a new 4K digital restoration with uncompressed monaural soundtrack. We're getting an alternate uncompressed stereo soundtrack remastered with creative input from Isaac Hayes. So Isaac Hayes did a lot of the music for this film. This is super exciting. So we're getting Dolby Vision HDR on the 4K disc. We're also getting another film, Shaft's Big Score. This is the 1972 follow-up to Shaft by director Gordon Parks. So that's exciting. We're getting a new documentary. We're getting some behind-the-scenes, programming, interviews. So a pretty fair amount of special features. This is bordering on a stacked edition from Criterion. So highly recommend checking out the features on the Criterion site. Also check out this awesome trailer that will really get you excited for this film. I mean, for me, it just takes me back and just really gets me excited about this movie because I have not seen this in a long time. This also has a nice remake starring Samuel L. Jackson that you ought to check out. Of course, this Criterion edition is the original Shaft from 1971 from director Gordon Parks. So again, super excited. Cannot tell you how excited I am about this. Before I get to the last 2 titles of June, let me stop sharing and let's go back to the stream here and let's see what comments are coming in. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Let me get caught up. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Kino has been killing it with their 4K transfers. They haven't had a dud yet. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Touch of Evil, super awesome. I mean, my gosh. I mean, what a great addition. That Touch of Evil might be in the running for best release of the year overall. I mean, it is absolutely just wonderful. It's just great. A Traveling Man, yeah, man, DVDs are delayed. I've heard they are short of help. Warehouses and things are backed up. I saw the apartment was sold out on several online retailers. Yes, yes. I'm really fingers crossed. I'm hoping I get it tomorrow or Saturday. If I do, then definitely look for a review of the apartment coming up this coming week. So we shall see. If you haven't seen La Samurai, get that ASAP. Yes, I've seen it. It's very good. Very good. Ethan, I completely agree. Touch of Evil was an outstanding upgrade, and while I was blown away by Some Like It Hot, also, even though the Criterion is great, also, yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger and get Some Like It Hot. I've been holding off on it, but I think I'm going to get that 4K, even though I have the Criterion. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Why not? Hello, 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 Integrate. Ethan, Night Train in Munich was the first film that acknowledged the existence of the concentration camps. Okay. And that's one of the things that is so fascinating about, seeing films from back then, because it really gives you an interesting historical perspective for sure. Nice. Let's see. I actually enjoy Streets of Fire more and more every time I watch it. I'm writing this down. Streets of Fire. Streets of Fire. I need to check that out. Gonna add that to the watch list. Whenever I get recommendations, I go over to IMDb and just look it up, and I really do appreciate it. Ethan, I never pay full price for Criterions. I always wait for a flash sale or Barnes and Noble. Amazon will also put random titles at 50% or less throughout the year. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of the titles, there are titles right now probably on Amazon at 50% off right now, possibly. Integrate, I'm looking for that to film as well. Okay, forward to that film as well. Tim, I think my most anticipated release coming this year is The Night of the Hunter, Kino. Oh, yes, that's right. That's coming out too. Kino is killing it this year. And who knows what else they're going to announce for the rest of the year. We only know about announcements through like the first half of the year. So this Criterion announcement has just given us the first half of this year, and we've already gotten some killer titles announced so far. So, yes, Night of the Hunter 4K. I'm also looking forward to that, The Godfather coming on Tuesday. I have heard great things about that. I've heard that those look phenomenal, that they did a great job. They spent like 3 years on the new restoration. So I'm looking forward to that. Juan, I'm a little disappointed with the Criterion June titles as I want to pick up only Pink Flamingos. Okay. That's interesting. Pink Flamingos. I have not seen that, but I'm looking forward to checking it out. I really thought Drive My Car would have been a June release. Yes, I've heard good things about that. I need to check that out. Check out that film. Shaft is a must buy. I agree. Totally. That is absolutely one I had to pick up. I was really excited when I saw that. That Shaft cover art is dope. I agree with you. I don't know why, but I thought Shaft would have been released later this year. Okay. Tim, yeah, they nailed the cover art on Shaft. Gotta get Shaft. A lot of love for Shaft. That Shaft looks smoking. So I'm getting a sense that Shaft might be probably the favorite release of a lot of people in this room here. That's probably my favorite cover of the bunch. Okay. I just watched Foxy Brown for the first time about a month ago. Now that would be another cool one for Criterion to add. That Pam Grier film, I would absolutely love that. Yes. Traveling Man, you're right. Shaft played on the Criterion channel and theaters have been replaying it. Okay. Same hook. The Shaft theme is playing in my head. Yes. Legendary. Didn't even see the special feature list to see it included Shaft's big score. Yes, that is so cool. I love it when they Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. When they throw in an extra movie as a special feature, I mean, that's awesome. I love that. Been wanting to upgrade my Touch of Evil DVD for years. Now I'm glad I waited for 4K. Yep. Yeah, I mean, certainly will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. It is that is such a nice addition. I mean, you get the three versions of the film. I just can't say enough good things about it. I do wish that Kino had carried over that printout of the Orson Welles' 58 page memo that he wrote the studio for that reconstructed version. I wish that they had carried that over, but I guess maybe that was something that Universal, I don't know, maybe they just had to, I don't know if they had, if it's a rights issue, but anyway. Excited about the Untouchables getting a 4K, another DVD. I never upgraded to Blu-ray. Okay. You know, I've never seen the Untouchables, I must admit. I've heard it's a good movie, so I may have to check that one out. I'm super excited for Wild Things on 4K from Arrow. Maybe excited isn't the best term. Yes. Yeah, so as far as Arrow, I don't know when Wild Things is coming out, and I'm not sure if I'm going to pick that one up. But I've picked up an American Werewolf in London. It's my first Arrow release, and I'm very excited about. I have RoboCop pre-ordered for next month, so I do plan to do a review of RoboCop 4K from Arrow. That'll be my first Arrow video review on this channel, so I'm looking forward to that. And let me know in the comments what other Arrow titles that are coming up that you think would make for a great review on this platform. Let's see, did I? Oh, okay. Island 007-100, Shaft is another of the great on-location New York films with scenes shot in Greenwich Village, Harlem, and Times Square. Yeah, that's another thing that I'm really excited about and that I really appreciate is I love films from the 70s, particularly films that show New York City in the 1970s. Just a wonderful time capsule. So I'm hoping they did a good job on the transfer and that they really bring, 1971 New York City, Harlem back to life for me. That would be just wonderful. Oh man, definitely check out Untouchables. I love Prohibition era movies, and it's honestly one of the best. Okay, I'll have to check that out. And I think Miller's Crossing is sort of in that same Prohibition era, I think as well. And I plan to watch that pretty soon. So, The Untouchables is complete fiction, but it's a really fun movie and has a couple of De Palma's best set pieces. Okay. Yo, James bit the bullet on the RoboCop pre-order. Yes, absolutely. Yes. I am looking forward to that very much. So I cannot wait to get that. So I am that'll be my second Arrow title. It's a limited edition, so I'm expecting some good packaging in one of those nice box packaging. And that was actually RoboCop was a Criterion, I think, DVD, I think. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that release from Arrow. So let me switch gears and let me go back to the Criterion site and share my screen. Let's see what we have here. Let me go back here and I will go back to the Criterion site. And I should be sharing again. And so we got two more titles. So just quick recap. We got the first title coming out, The Tales of Hoffman, on June the 7th. Second title is Farewell Amore. I am super excited about this title. This is from Ekwa Masanji coming out June the 14th. Then we have Rouge coming out from Stanley Kwan on June 21st and Shaft on 4K Ultra HD coming out June the 21st as well. That's the title I'm most excited about. So between Shaft and Farewell Amore, those are the two titles I plan to pick up and do reviews on this channel in the month of June. The other four titles, I'm going to wait for the July sale, including these two titles coming out on June 28th, starting with this very interesting film that's Oscar nominated. It's a new film. It's from 2021 and it's out of Norway from director Joachim Trier. It's called The Worst Person in the World. So this is the first I've heard of this film. It has been nominated for a couple of Academy Awards. What it's been nominated for? It's been nominated for Best International Feature and Best Original Screenplay. So this is a Oscar-nominated film, and I'm looking forward to checking it out. But it'll wait until the July sale. So Renate Rensiv won the Best Actress prize at Cannes for the revelatory, complex performance that anchors this sprawlingly novelistic film by Norwegian auteur Joachim Trier, an emotionally intricate, and exhilarating character study of a woman entering her 30s. Amid the seemingly endless possibilities of the modern world, Julie vacillates between artistic passions and professions, the question of motherhood and relationships of two very different men, a successful comic book artist and a charismatic barista. Okay, so sounds like an interesting, fascinating film. It's a brand new film from 2021. It's in the Oscar nominations. And we're getting a 2K digital master and a 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio on the Blu-ray, getting new interviews with the director, some on-set footage. So not a lot in the way of special features, but this looks like a pretty interesting release of a newer film in the Criterion Collection. This is a new director in the collection and a new film. So, look forward to checking that out. This is The Worst Person in the World. It's coming out on June the 28th. Then we come down to one more title coming out in the month of June. It's coming out on June 28th as well. And it is a film from John Waters, and it is Pink Flamingos. So this is the title that was a former Criterion Laserdisc. So let me know if you have this Laserdisc from Criterion. But this is a film from 1972. It's from the United States. 92 minutes, coming in at Spine 1131 from director John Waters. What do y'all think of this cover? I think this cover looks different. It's interesting. It might be reminiscent of the film. I've never seen Pink Flamingos, so I don't have a reference to really, as I look at this cover, I'm not really sure what to think about it, but it does look interesting. So let me know what y'all think of this cover. But it says here, John Waters made bad taste perversely transcendent with the forever shocking countercultural sensation Pink Flamingos, his most infamous and daring cinematic transgression. Auteur Diva Divine is iconic as the wanted criminal hiding out with her family of degenerates in a trailer outside Baltimore while reveling in her tabloid notoriety as the filthiest person alive. Okay. So this is, John Waters, production here. We're getting a 4K digital restoration. We're getting 2 audio commentaries featuring Waters from the 1997 Criterion Laserdisc and the 2001 DVD release. Okay. And we're getting new conversations between Waters and filmmaker Jim Jarmusch. That, I would say, for me, of all the special features I've heard in these announcements for this month of June, in these releases, that is the one that really sort of jumped out to me. It's like, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. This is a conversation between John Waters and Jim Jarmusch, which I love Jarmusch's films and his additions in Criterion. We're getting a tour of the film's Baltimore locations led by Waters, some deleted scenes, a trailer, other features, an essay. So that's cool. This is a Blu-ray. It's coming out June 28th. This is one I plan to pick up in the July sale. It's coming out June 28th. So close to the sale. Might as well wait and get that 50% off. So definitely looking forward to checking this title out. Of course, you can check out the trailer down here. What are these people laughing at? What are they laughing at? I don't know. But anyway, that is Pink Flamingos. So let me come out of here. Actually, let me just go to Blu-ray.com real quick and see what's the latest at Blu-ray.com. It's always interesting to see what their latest reviews are, what's out there. The Godfather, they had great things to say about The Godfather 4K, which is great. Same with Touch of Evil 4K. So that's good to know. So let me stop sharing and let's go back to the stream here and see what people are saying. What are people saying? Let's see here. Sean Connery won his well-deserved Oscar for The Untouchables, a great Brian De Palma film. Hi, guys. Hey, Tony, how are you doing? No Amadeus on 4K release still on Criterion. I wonder if the rumors were wrong. Well, there's still a lot of year left. So these are the titles that are coming out from Criterion. We now know the first half of the year for Criterion. And I would say so far, double thumbs up. We've gotten a good number of 4K titles. Again, one of those 4K titles is coming in May, which is my most anticipated release of the year so far, Double Indemnity on 4K. So I cannot wait for that title. I'm very much looking forward to that. And there's, several other 4Ks that have come out so far this year. The Piano on 4K, Le Cirque Rouge has come out so far. The Last Waltz is coming out pretty soon here. So, the more the merrier. So we shall see. I need to dive into De Palma even more. I watched Blowout for the first time last year and was blown away by how much I loved it. Yes, I love Blowout. Blowout is probably one of my top 5 favorite editions from Criterion. It's one of my first ones I got along with Thief, and I love it. It's Travolta's best performance. Nancy Allen's great in it. John Lithgow's great in it. You got Dennis Franz in there. It's just a great film. I love it. Hey, Tony. Yep. See, hey, Tim talks. Okay. For some odd reason, I have this slight fixation with films from Norway and Denmark. Some of my favorite foreign movies are from there. Did you ever see the movie Thelma from Norway? I have not seen that. Thelma. I have not seen it, but I'm writing it down. I will definitely check it out. See, Ian, The Worst Person in the World is so good. It was my favorite movie of 2021. I knew it was coming to Criterion, but didn't expect it to come out in June. Okay. Yeah, I did not know it was coming out. I saw Worst Person in the World in the theater last week. Wasn't sure if it would be my kind of movie, but I loved it. Very moving film and a really nice surprise. Okay, cool. Magnitude Rev, I adore Worst Person in the World. Love this film. Hate this cover. Yeah, I'm with you. Of all the covers this month, Pink Flamingos, but I think The Worst Person in the World probably has the worst cover in my mind. Another foreign film I feel would be a great fit for Criterion is Into the Fade from Germany. Okay, Into the Fade from Germany. I used to live in Germany as a kid. Really excellent movie about loss and wanting revenge. Okay. Wanting revenge. Okay. Similar to Revanche from Criterion. Really good film. Looking forward to getting The Worst Person in the World. Okay. I'm looking forward to checking it out too. I'm scared of Pink Flamingos. People told me I'll be scarred for life if I watch it. I may have to pass. Yeah, John Waters is he's out there. Hux, I don't recall the movie well enough to know if the paper bag has reference, but I feel it must. Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting cover. The Godfather 50th anniversary is very expensive. Yes. There's a couple of editions. There's like the special edition that I think may be over $100 or something, but I got the step down version. I just want the 4K discs. So for that, I've only seen one Waters film. I'm interested in checking it out. Okay. KB, I literally just finished watching The Worst Person in the World before hopping on here. Good movie, terrible cover art, might pick up in July. Yeah, I agree. The cover art, not good. Based on everything I've heard about Pink Flamingos, I don't think I could bring myself to watch it. Yeah, it does sound disgusting. Sounds disgusting. I was on IMDb and I saw some of what was described, and I thought to myself, oh my God, it's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this movie. Pink Flamingos is definitely not for the squeamish. Yeah, I would agree based on what I've heard. Hey, Tony, Basement Blues. Juan Carlos, another 4K Hitchcock box set will be released during 2021. Yes, that's another title I'm very much looking forward to. Another release that I'm very much looking forward to that is coming out. I just pre-ordered it today, and that's the Classics Collection Hitchcock 4K volume number 2. So I'm really excited about that. Blowout was one of my blind buys during the sale, so I am pumped to hear how much y'all liked it. Yes, definitely check it out. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out Blowout. It's one of my favorite Criterions. I love movies that show you the process of making movies, and so this is a film that sort of gives you some insight into the process of making films, and it gives you a vintage feeling because he's working with equipment from the late 1970s and 80s. So it's pretty cool. I'm still waiting for them to announce Cure. I can't wait to see what they do with it. Okay. Were you a military brat? I was. My dad was in the Army. Yes, indeed. Worst Person in the World is a phenomenal coming of age film about a woman still trying to figure out who she is and what she wants to do with her life as she's on the edge of turning 30. Yep. Actually, The Worst Person in the World is part of Joachim Trier's Oslo trilogy. It's the third film in a series that includes Reprise and Oslo August 31st. All three of them star Anders Danielsen Lee. Okay. Well, yeah, anyway, guys, I really want to thank you for joining tonight. I have to say, I am very excited about Criterion Collection's announcements for June 2022. I think that these are 6 really awesome titles. Like I said before, the 2 titles that I plan to pick up on day one are Farewell Amore from director Ekwa Masanji. Looking forward to seeing this new filmmaker's voice and learning about her and this film. This is Spine 1128. So I'm really fascinated with this story and really want to dive into this one. And I'm also interested in, of course, Shaft on day one. Plan to pick that one up on 4K Ultra HD. Really excited about this film starring Richard Roundtree from director Gordon Parks. So very excited about that. The other 4 titles I plan to pick up in the Barnes & Noble sale. But I also wanted to bring to your attention, of course, we are in Women's History Month. And I was thinking about that and thinking to myself that some of the titles that I have been blown away the most by are titles that I've recently seen from women directors. And I'm just going to put out 4 of them right here that you want to keep in mind for Criterion. Adoption, the 1975 film from Hungarian director Marta Mészáros. This is a title that when it was announced, I really didn't have any plans of picking it up at all. I just saw Adoption and I thought to myself, okay, what is that? But I decided to pick it up for this flash sale and I watched it this past weekend. And I got to tell you, I absolutely love that film. And that film is amazing. And the Criterion edition really brings you into the world of Marta Mészáros. So I really, really was blown away by that release. Boat People, the 1982 film by Anne Hui, another great addition from Criterion. Another great addition that also highlights the filmmaker. You learn about Anne Hui, who she is as a filmmaker and as a person. So I really love that film. That film deals with the aftermath of the Vietnam War, so which I find fascinating. My dad served in the army in Vietnam, so I just have a fascination with that period. The Piano from 1993, Jane Campion. Definitely check out that 4K edition. Phenomenal. One Night in Miami, one of the last titles that come out last year, the 2020 film from Regina King, one of the last Criterions to come out in 2021. Highly recommended. It's International Women's Month. So those are 4 titles from amazing female directors that I highly recommend checking out. So let's see here. What do we have here? It's odd they chose Family Plot and The Trouble with Harry over North by Northwest in that Hitchcock set. Yeah, I would love to see North by Northwest get its own 4K release. That would be a title I would love to see come out. Or Frenzy. Your channel got me into Criterion and more foreign titles. I currently only have 4 titles, including The Human Condition, the first video of yours that I saw. Okay, well, welcome to the world of Criterion. Magnitude Rev loves Boat People, and I do as well. But folks, I really do appreciate you joining tonight. And it has been a great day and a great week so far. I mean, in the world of physical media, I mean, I am just through the moon with some of the great releases that I've received so far this year. An American Werewolf in London, the Arrow release. If you don't have that, definitely check it out. I'm finishing or plan to finish Le Cirque Rouge on Criterion tonight when I get home, when I get back from taking my son from basketball practice. And definitely look forward to sharing my thoughts on that title. But look for a review of Adoption coming this weekend on the channel. I am blown away by that release and so glad that I picked it up in this recent flash sale. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what else comes out from Criterion. I mean, this makes me excited about what's to come in the month of July, because these titles that are coming out in June set the stage for what's going to come in July. And it's going to make for one heck of a July Barnes & Noble 50% off sale and Amazon sale. So definitely looking forward to what's to come in Criterion, Kino, Arrow, all of physical media. And As always, I'm about to sign off here, but I really do appreciate you all joining tonight. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday night and a great Friday and weekend. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Peace. Good night, everybody. And happy St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy and stay safe.